Let's look today at some pencils from Japan by way of St. Louis. Hello everyone. I very recently on this channel reviewed some pencils from Japan. These square shrine pencils. And if you're interested in that, you can find that in my video catalog. Search for that. But in that video, I promised that there would be some more pencils from Japan coming to be reviewed on my channel, and it is time for that. We are just coming out of the Christmas season here, and my family purchased some items through St. Louis Art Supply for me for Christmas as a Christmas present. Thank you, family. And first things first, they sent this little paper ruler bookmark, which I really like. It's going to end up being used as a bookmark in whatever book I happen to be reading. Very cool. But they assure me that this is how these items arrived, in a box, of course, well packaged. But the pencils themselves and pencil accessories came in this hot dog waxed paper bag, which I thought was just so fantastic. I had to keep it just for this video. So today I'm going to choose one item from this bag to review. They purchased several items for me for Christmas, but we'll focus on one today. Or I suppose two of the same item. This looks a little bit flashier than what I normally review on this channel. Let's look at what it says here. Begoody, made in Japan. I don't think that's the name of the manufacturer. I suspect these were made by, and I haven't done any research ahead of time. Maybe I'll put something in the description if I find out more info, but I thought these might have been manufactured by the Eyeball company, or the company that makes pencils labeled as Eyeball, another of the Japanese manufacturing companies. Here in the US, we get some pencils from Japan. We get the Mitsubishis and the Tombos, not too hard to find here in the U.S. Even Kitabashi you can order through St. Louis Art Supply, among other places in the U.S. But beyond that, there are several other, at least, pencil manufacturers in Japan, probably making terrific products that we just don't have access to in the U.S. easily still. But Eyeball, I believe, is one of those, or the company that makes pencils labeled as Eyeball. But that's a story for another day. So what do we have here? We have some uncapped, kind of a metallic lavender, maybe, pencil. This light maybe isn't giving it the best presentation on your monitor, but a metallic lavender with a blue imprint. Part in English and part not. Begoody, made in Japan. These are 6B pencils. What I find interesting, oh, by the way, the paint job is really smooth and nice. You just expect superior quality in Japanese pencils, and I've pretty much never been disappointed in that expectation. My family knew to order me two of whatever they're ordering me, because I tend to like to sharpen one and keep one intact. So we'll do that today. Blue imprint, I already said that, 6B. One thing I really like, it's one of these touches that wasn't necessary. I'm sure adds some cost to the manufacturing process for no reason other than to be superior, right? So the end isn't just a smooth, flat cut. It's sort of rounded, a semi-conical or a dome shape slightly here on the end, on both ends. And you can see, of course, how thick that graphite is. With a 6B, you expect it to be thick, but that is really a thick graphite core. That wood, you would think, would be straining to hold that intact. So I'm expecting soft and dark, one, because it's a quality Japanese product, and two, because just the size of that, very, very impressive. Stands out quite a bit. Well, nothing else to see on the pencils themselves, so we will sharpen one and we'll give it a try. What do I have nearby in terms of a sharpener? Always have an Apsara long point nearby. Let's get a piece of paper and sharpen it. Let's make sure I'm sharpening the correct end. Japanese pencil manufacturers tend to use American cedar, and more frequently than American pencil manufacturers do, it seems. Probably aren't a lot of companies producing the correct cedar slats for pencil manufacturing. There's probably a few companies around the world that are doing that. So, not a lot of choices. But I'm getting a little concerned about how long this point is getting and how thick that graphite is. I don't know whether a long point was the right choice. I guess this will be a good test of the strength of that graphite. Okay, I'm not going to go any further. I think that's a pretty darn good point, and I don't want to push my luck. Look at that. Goodness gracious. Half of the cone here is graphite, so that's an impressive point. It always makes me a little bit sad to see the amount of graphite I had to waste to get to that point. You shall not have died in vain. Let's get a piece of paper. Give this a try. It reminds me quite a bit of the Musgrave News 600. That's probably an apt comparison. Let me get my exposure locked down here. It feels very similar to the News 600. Of course, the Begoody is a hex pencil, while the News is round. They both have a lot of exposed graphite. Let's get the exposure back here. You can see a very similar ratio of wood to graphite. If my focus will work. Here you can see more clearly the rounded off end on this Japanese pencil versus the American. The smooth flat cut on the Musgrave. So the feel is very much like a News 600, but I think the tone is darker a bit. Comparable, but in real life here, at least in the writing. It seems the Begoody is a darker graphite than the News, which is awfully hard to do because the News is a terrifically dark pencil. What else do we have that's kind of similar? Richard Best Press, no longer made, but I wish they were. This is much closer to my eyes, and I just broke the tip off. Yeah, this is it's a thicker pencil, and it's in the Tri-Rex shape, which is the best. I think I've said in previous video, this may have been the best pencil ever created, and I feel pretty confident in saying that. Nudges out, I think, in the top spot, the Black Warrior #1. I mean, this would have limited usefulness in terms of a long writing session, but just a fantastic pencil that I wish Moon Products could bring back. But honestly, it's a 6B, so it's not designed for taking notes in class. Somebody on Twitter, I think, was saying these pencils are maybe more designed for using more like a brush, a paintbrush, for calligraphy and that sort of writing, which makes sense. With a soft, thick graphite like that, you're not going to be taking page after page of notes, or you'll wear through a pencil in no time. But just as a way to jot something down, to mark up a document, for sketching or for calligraphy, if you like to do it with graphite, it is a very nice pencil for that purpose, and I personally love it. The color, again, it's a little bit flashier than what I'm used to using. They made it in a more conservative appearance. That might be a little better for me. I'm not going to count off any points for the electric metallic lavender, but I like it. Maybe something for you to seek out if you're a fan of really dark, high-quality Japanese graphite. It's a nice one. The Begoody, possibly made by the same company that brings you Eyeball pencils. Curious name. Both of them are pretty curious names, but very nice pencil. Thanks again to my family for letting me try these, and to St. Louis Art Supply for stocking an interesting array of imported pencils, many of which you'll be seeing in the coming days on this channel. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you here again next time.